I'm Professor Lisa Sarjays, author of The Truth About Weight Loss Surgery, Losing 140 Pounds the Hard Way, What They Won't Tell You, and How I Survived. And I'm a college professor who is only teaching online this summer. And I am chronically verbose, and I must speak so I can hear myself, and you could hear me, and I have to teach, so you're getting a lot of videos about everything that crosses my mind. That's how I roll. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. And speak to those who will listen to you with a sympathetic, empathetic, compassionate, open ear. If we bottle everything up inside and we roil around our brains alone trying to figure stuff out, we might make some progress. Action sometimes takes the form of just speaking, telling our story. Whether you're doing it on YouTube or a blog or telling a sympathetic friend, whatever it is you're doing. Because when you don't, and you just rely on yourself, or you keep things bottled up because you think you shouldn't be talking about such things, you're going to miss very important keys and cues that can help you. Now, I didn't put makeup on today because I'm home and my cats don't care. And although I'm a little bit tan, I'm very pale because I'm very, very anemic. Why? I finally got myself some health insurance, and I'll be examining why, looking at a possible GI bleed, heart issue, parasites, whatever's making the anemia happen, we'll find it. But I thought I had thyroid issues. I thought I was hypothyroid. I still might be. That's not the main concern. When your red blood cell count, your hemoglobin is below 6, it's pretty severely anemia that's making you tired. But I thought it was thyroid. Well, thinning hair, lethargic, different, cold all the time. And I knew a lady friend of mine was seeing a practitioner. So I went to her practitioner, and I knew, because that voice in your head that tells you said, this woman you're seeing is just a stepping stone. She's just a stepping stone. She's going to put you in the right direction. She did a dry blood test, and sure enough, she says, hon, you are really anemic. Very, very anemic. Your look, this is what normal blood looks like on a slide. Here's yours. Blood is like cranberry, reddy colored. Yours is pale orange. You're in trouble. So I took action, and now I'm getting blood transfusions. The point is, if I didn't open my mouth to several friends who made several suggestions, who got me on the path, I wouldn't be making the steps to get well. Yes, I'm getting well, but taking the steps in the right direction to diagnose and then solve the problem. The same thing goes for psychological issues, emotional issues. I've been blessed recently to not have to deal with a lot of negative comments on my videos. In the beginning, when I first started, I was so deathly afraid of negative comments, and I got a ton of them. Now, I don't care that much. Nobody likes to be told they're ungrateful or stupid or whatever. But it's not that big of an issue. I don't make these videos with a fear. If it's too negative and insulting, I'll just delete it. If it's just objections, and I will converse with you. And I haven't gotten them in a while. I've been getting very supportive comments from people who say, you're speaking for me, saying things I wish I could, you're putting things in perspective, making things clear, and I'm a fan of clarity. you're not driving, yes, take action, but if you're driving your car, if action means, moving forward and your windshield's covered in mud, where are you going? Into a pole, probably, right? So clarity, important. Well, the woman who wrote, I think she's a woman, who wrote the comment said, we all have our stories and, yeah, we do. She says, but, there's people who wish they were in your position and who wish they had what you had, hun. Like, well, yeah, probably, and there's people I envy too. What does that have to do with anything? The implication was that I should be busy being grateful for everything I have and not talk about anything negative or unpleasant. No. That's what got me here in this health mess, is not speaking about my experiences because, I'm afraid I'll appear ungrateful. That's nuts. So what if you appear ungrateful? Or if you're a person who's full of gratitude, then don't worry how you appear. Just tell your story. And how she's been through so much worse. Comparing is not healthy. There's people who have, of course there's people who have it worse than I have it. There's people who don't know where their dinner's coming from. There's people with children. Lisa Nichols, remember her from The Secret? Love her. When she was at her lowest point, she couldn't afford to pull $20 out of the bank. She had like $11 and change. And she needed diapers for her baby. Pampers, disposable diapers. Couldn't go to the store to get them. She used towels. She was so full of shame about that. And she swore, I'll never be this poor again. Yeah, I get it. There's people who are in developing nations. There's women who aren't even allowed to vote or go to school. There's people being tortured. There's people imprisoned unfairly. There's horrible atrocities happening in the world. So am I grateful that I can walk out my front door without fear of being shot? Yeah, I'm happy about that. I get it. I live in privilege. I'm white, educated, and I'm saying that because it just puts me in a class of people that happen to have privilege. I'm not trying to make myself superior to anyone. It's just that's how society is set up. Certain groups of people have more privilege than other groups. So I get it. I acknowledge my privilege. I'm happy to have been educated, but and there's a lot of things that aren't so cool. I have health issues. I have mental health issues. I have tremendous debt because I was very sick throughout my college education. And so I just borrowed money thinking someday I'll feel better. I'll be able to earn money and pay these loans back. Yeah, well, yeah, it's time, and I'm still sickly, and shit. So I have to do everything and sick. So, okay, but I'll get better. I'm going to get better. I'm getting better. I'm well and getting weller. All of that. And she also said, well, you're just saying the same things over and over. It takes me a lot of times hearing something to learn it. So if I'm talking about something, it's probably because I need to hear myself say it in order to feel cleared of it, in order to feel like I've taught it correctly, in order to purge myself, and because maybe I'm gaining more clarity. Speaking gets us corrected. I forgot who said it once. If you're going to pronounce a foreign word and you're not sure how to pronounce it, mispronounce it and do it loudly so that somebody will hear you and correct you and you'll learn the proper way to say it. I like that. Make loud mistakes so you can get the feedback and get the teaching that you need. Whenever we open our mouths to speak and tell our stories or tell a difficult part of our stories because we need to hear somebody else say, yes, I understand. Yes, I've been through that myself. No, that shouldn't have happened to you. That's terrible. I'm sure that really hurt. Here's how I'm healing the situation. I'm talking about my anemia, and people are coming forth and they're saying, oh, I had that too. Okay, what was it from? What did you do? Great. I'm getting all kinds of keys and directions and ideas on how to move forward. We won't get those things if we don't open our mouths. But whenever we do, there's going to be those little naggy voices that come and say, you shouldn't be talking about that. You should just forgive and move on. You're staying stuck by talking about it. It's like, oh, wow, that's just what I needed. More shame. No, I was silent about it all my life. Except daring to speak a little bit, maybe to a counselor or a therapist. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to shut up now. No, shutting up is not the solution. And forgiving, I don't know, if a little 3-year-old came up, and they had issues, or rage issues, or whatever, I don't know, anything about children. I was one once, and I only teach them when they're over 18. So, all right, so a little 3-year-old angry comes up and bites you. Are you going to stay mad at them forever? I mean, I don't even know the scenario that a 3-year-old could bite you, but let's just say it happens. Do you forgive them? Well, they're 3. Did they mean to hurt you? Did they even understand that you're a separate entity? That you're a separate person from them? Or are you just this thing in their environment that appeared to be a threat? Or do they have a condition or whatever? So, yeah, of course I forgive the little 3-year-old. They don't know better. They don't have resources. They don't understand. I'm not going to hold a grudge. But maybe I'll need to talk about, wow, that really freaked me out today. I was spending some time with in daycare, Again, I don't know, where would I run across a 3-year-old? But I was, and it was really startling, and it really scared me, and wow. Would you still get to talk about it? You forgave the 3-year-old because they don't know better. Same thing with a narcissistic parent, perhaps, or an alcoholic parent, or maybe not alcoholic as much. I don't know what that's like, but I know what a narcissistic mother is like. She's a child. She's a child. Emotionally a child. She just never grew. She's 92. She's still on the ball, thank God. Never grew up emotionally. Do I forgive her? She can't help being the way she is. And at 92, I'm not going to even suggest putting her in therapy. Come on. She's 92. It would have been great if in her 50s, maybe. She saved me a lot of grief, but okay. So forgiving her is not the issue. The issue is, do I get to talk about it? And my feelings. And how I'm coping. I wasn't heard for how many years of my life? And then went from one abusive living situation with men, one after another. It was bad. So, yeah, I need to talk about it. Do I repeat myself? Ask my students. Do I repeat myself? So, open your mouth. Get feedback. Get validation. If you get a negative reaction, thank them, move on. But keep talking. Now, you might not want to go public the way I do. I just don't want to live off camera. I love being I'm a Leo, and I'm a typical Leo. So, talk. But don't hold it in because you think it's ungrateful to speak about it, or that there's people who have it worse off than you. That has nothing to do with your need to heal, your need to be heard, your need to be validated, your need to hear, yeah, me too. You've been silent for how long? Don't be silent any longer. And not everybody is going to react the way you want them to react, so. Speak it. Hear yourself speak. Sometimes you just need to hear yourself speak. You need to hear yourself ask for it. You need to hear yourself say it. And don't be afraid. Be afraid and do it anyway. That old cliche. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's being afraid and doing it anyway. Well, that's how I do things all the time. I'm afraid all the time. I do it anyway. Just do it. Just action. Move. Don't just sit at the stoplight, at the stop sign. More so a stop sign. Don't just sit there at the stop sign saying, well, if I go left, this could happen. If I go right, that can. If I go straight, that I could always put it in reverse, but I don't really know what to do. Just move. And if you get lost, backtrack and pick a new route. Just move. Just be in action, because that's how you get healing, resources, the responses that can help you, the validation you need. Open your mouth. I'll shut mine now. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. It helps me. I could use the help paying back my student loans. And my book is on Amazon. Just search for my last name, Sargese, and yeah, leave me a review. Take care.